Good evening, everybody. Good evening. How are we all doing today, guys? How are we all doing today? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. We are back with some more Danmachi Battle Chronicle and, of course, the live discussion for episode 5 of season 5 as well. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. Hopefully, everybody is doing good and having a good weekend as well. A live discussion of episode 5. I was just typing out the thing for Discord just to ping everybody, of course. But yes, we're back, of course. We're back. Hello, everybody. Hello. Everything seems good. Let me just move some stuff near me really easily so that I don't just knock over stuff randomly. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Yo, what's up, Razor? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. All right, we're good to go. Dailies are here. All right, let's do that. Beautiful stuff. Just need to make sure I remember to buy the monthly thing tomorrow or something. We'll figure it out. Of course. But yes, we're gonna start off with doing my dailies real quickly. Return the binder for a new one. No, I'll do that tomorrow because the post office is closed today and tomorrow, or I should say I'll do it on Monday. The post office is closed today and tomorrow, so what I'll do is after work, probably on Monday when I go come out of my overtime, I'll go and return it. Then probably. So not to worry. It's something I'll get around to doing later on. But yeah, no, it's just some. I'll have to do it later on. It's all right. No worries on that front. And it's already packed up and ready to go, so it's not that difficult to get it sorted out. So I'll do that later on. But no, I'm sorry I'm late today as well. I would have streamed a little bit earlier, but to be quite honest, I literally came home and I knocked out. I almost missed F1 qualifying as well, low key. But thankfully the weather was really bad in Brazil, so they had to postpone it to tomorrow morning. It was torrential rain, so yeah, it's happening tomorrow morning, and so thankfully I didn't miss qualifying. And then afterwards I decided, you know what, instead of actually getting stuff done, I got my stand, racing wheel stand, and it's ready to rock and roll. It's on my side. I folded it up and it's ready to go. So whenever we plan on doing or whenever I want to drive and stuff, or if I want to do it on stream, we can. It's ready to rock and roll, and it works perfectly fine. A little bit wobbly, but not too wobbly, to be quite honest, which is all right for me. Of course, if I'd gone a little bit more expensive, the 150-pound ones or 200-pound ones, I would have probably had a much more stable one. This is a 50-pound one. It does the job, to be quite honest. It's not like I'm gonna absolutely smash into stuff, but yeah. Hello, Panda Max, as well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome. So today, of course, we're going to talk about Danmachi Season 5, Episode 5, if you guys want to talk about it as well. But, yeah. No, unfortunately, no. In the UK, there is no, nobody comes to pick up the stuff, unfortunately. We have to actually go to the post office and return it ourselves, or go to a area. So in the shopping center, there'll be a small depot of or store kind of. That's a normal commercial store, effectively you could say. Effectively, they sell food items, drinks, and so on and so forth, but they have a small post office corner as well. Or you have the Amazon lockers, basically. In the UK, you have these locker systems, basically, where they'll drop it. You can drop it off in a locker, or they can drop your item in the locker, and you can either pick it up, or they can pick up your return, basically. So you can do either or. I don't think I have a locker near me where I live now. Previously, I did. I don't have a locker near me right now, so I can't do that. So I'll have to probably just go to the post office instead, or whatever the facility nearest to me is after work, and give it there. No, but unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, they don't come and pick it up here. I don't have a PO box. It's not. Yeah, it's a corner shop, basically. Yeah, basically, it's a corner shop, effectively. Yeah, the corner shop basically does the job for us, and usually they're all authorized by Amazon and stuff. So it's not the end of the world in that sense, necessarily, of they'll absolutely, not give it back or anything. They'll actually do it. So it's pretty good in that sense. But yeah, it is, it's pretty good. It's pretty good in that sense. So either way, I'm going to give it back later on and get that sorted out as well. But yeah, no, today we're going to talk about episode 5. If you guys want to talk about anything, feel free to mention it. As always, this is a live discussion. So you guys are the people to, bring up the points. You all will be the ones to bring up the points. I can, of course, talk about it, but you guys have heard what I've had to say, and I'll be making a separate video giving my thoughts in more detail, of course, right? So don't worry about that. I'll buy this later on. It's going to ping me consistently, unfortunately. But I'll be making a separate video. Like I said, I was gonna make it before I started the stream, like a little bit while ago. But yeah, I just knocked out and I wanted to set up the steering wheel. So I'm gonna do the steering wheel streams is sooner rather than later. And in fact, I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out how I can set up Danchro on the steering wheel as well. That'll be a fun video and stream to do potentially down the line as well. Absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to trying that out as well when I get the opportunity. Me waiting for that one ice find up here in the chat. Look, as I've said, I'm not gonna really over exaggerate it at that much. Like, if they feel it's bad for them. I'm not gonna really, you know, say anything else. I can't really change their opinion on that. If they feel that way, they feel that way. But I just want to say that I'll still maintain, at the end of the day, this is a decision made by both Mori and the production team. Them going after certain individuals and continuously saying like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, start naming names on Twitter and, you know, putting them on blast, or, you know, potentially sending letters in again and again and again. I'm like, that's not the way to do it. That's not, you're not a better man doing that. If you want, boycott the show, explain to people why it's bad, do a good job in explaining why it's bad, right? I think, like, for example, there was this same person who, funnily enough, the same person who made that statement of like, oh, I'm gonna actually put out the names of the people working on the production and, you know, call them out and actually, you know, potentially send abuse to them, because of course if their tweets are appearing in people's algorithm, potentially people will, you know, easily, you know how the internet is, they're in the click of a finger, people will go ahead and insult other people or send abuse to other people. It's not that difficult for the internet to do that, unfortunately. So doing that is unfair, in my opinion, especially because it's not just, you know, like a random animators, you know, on the team isn't necessarily the reason why the anime is potentially bad for that person, right? It's a couple of other people and a bunch of other people, in fact, more so than anything else. Amori is involved. You've got the directors, you've got the producers, you've got the production team behind the scenes, of course, with SB Creative and stuff. For me personally, that's my thought. That's my own 2 cents, in that you have to be a little bit smarter and a little bit more logical when you do this. But yeah, that same person who made that tweet out then made a thread about like what they thought was really bad and why they thought that the most recent episode was a 5 out of 10, which I think is a little harsh. I would say it's fine. 5 out of 10 is average in my personal opinion, but I know that to other people it's like 4 out of 10, or 5 out of 10 and 4 out of 10s are like really bad. I still think 5 out of 10 is average, to be quite honest. I would say that the episode was a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7, depending on which scene we're talking about. I think like certain parts made it like a 7 or 8, and then there were other scenes that I feel like were pretty low down in a 6 and a 6 and a 5, in my opinion. But yeah, I do think that they made good points. I think they made good points. I agree with a lot of what they said, but then there were some other points where I was like, it's a bit debatable and a bit questionable as to the way you're pointing it out, actually, to be quite honest, and the way you're explaining it. But that is a good way to do it. That is exactly what you should do. Explain to people why you felt the episode was bad, and also just don't focus on one character, because that's just not the way to go things. Because let's be real, in the light novel it's the same situation, and the problem is if the light novel does a bad job with one character, then putting it into the anime makes that character even worse, because of just how light novels to anime adaptations are. So yeah, that's just my opinion in that front. This Battle Pass scene card this time is good. KW, I know who Gail's talking about. I mean, it's one of the more popular ones of the Danmachi community, right? I mean, it's the one that keeps popping up, I think, for everybody. But yeah, no, the scene card is pretty good. I like it in terms of, like, the cooldown again. Skill damage-wise, it depends on the attacking unit. If you're giving it to an attacker-based support unit, like how we have Harmonia now and View, I think that would be really good for these characters. It's actually a pretty good scene card for the latest support units we've gotten in the game. Honestly, it's a solid one for them. All right. I think what we'll do first is we'll do. I'm trying to think. We'll do some Abyssal first to just ease ourselves in, and of course, I want to talk to people about it. Really excited for Heath next week. I agree. I'm very excited for Heath as well. I think that's I'm looking forward to Heath as well. I think it's pretty cool that we're actually going to be getting first look in animated format for her, of course, right? We've been seeing pictures and everything, of course, key visual arts, what's it called, art sheets of her as well and everything, right? So it's been pretty good to see all of that, but we need to see obviously her animated, which I'm very much looking forward to. Technically we would have seen her in this episode, but they decided to cut that entirely, which I think was fair. I think that cutting Heath was okay for me personally. I think they shouldn't have cut the Miak Familia. That was the kind of annoying part that for me personally at the end. I think that if they didn't cut the Miak Familia part, I think I would have liked the ending a little bit more. I still think the ending was fine. It still hit the emotional beats of, like, obviously the Hestia Familia and stuff and all that sort of jazz. And of course, Mord, the homie, of course, one of the goats, of course, not recognizing Belle, I think was good. But, like, I think they could have added the Miak Familia because of just how close they are to Belle, and especially Cassandra and stuff, right? I think that would have been good. Alright, there we go. Rip Hestia fam, Lily wrist, Wealth torso, Makoto wrecked, Haru got best treatment in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely curb stomped, basically. Absolutely sent to the curb, dog. That was too good. To be honest, this was the first time we'd also seen Haruhime's weapon in the anime, actually. The first time we'd seen Haruhime's weapon in the anime. Apparently, Omori even mentioned on Twitter, I think, he said that he wanted to include the weapon being introduced as well for the first time in the Haruhime Familiar Chronicles whenever he got around to doing it. I love how he's just spoiling everything for the Haruhime Familiar Chronicles, so whenever it comes out, we already know what's gonna happen. If he ever decides to actually make it, it's just like, well, we already know what happens. You've really spoiled it already, brother. You've already fucking spoiled it, dog. What do you mean? What was her weapon? I didn't even notice. It was the fan. It was the pink fan. Amori described it as a magical item that will be able to increase and boost her magical abilities. So it just makes her buffs and stuff even stronger, basically. Buffs, heals, everything. Whatever she can do. Anything she does to help the team will be able to basically be boosted up thanks to the weapon. I think it was even mentioned that Wealth made it for her as well, apparently. I agree. I think the hammer in Danmimo was a bit cooler. I think that would have been a bit more cooler and a little bit more unique in my opinion. It would have been cooler. I think the hammer from Danmimo would have been perfect for her. I'm kind of surprised that we didn't get that only, to be quite honest. I thought we were gonna just get the hammer, to be honest, as the weapon, but yeah, it seems like they wanted to go down a different route, or Amori wanted to go down a different route from Danmimo. Or Amori forgot that Danmimo made a hammer for her. Yeah, no, of course, the fan does make a lot of sense as well in terms of the, whole aesthetic and everything. I'm not denying that. But the hammer would have been a little bit more unique and a little bit more interesting and cool in my opinion. Arime's and a mommy characters, so I think the hammer would have been better. I just think it would have been a bit more unique, to be honest. I think it would have been a little bit more different and a little bit more fun to see it on screen. And, considering how Haruhime is usually like a very demure character, a very, quiet, shy kind of character, having a hammer is kind of a contradictory thing. So, in that sense, it works really well, in my opinion. In that sense, I think it would have been perfect for her, in my personal opinion. I honestly think they did that not as bad, to be honest. That whole scene. I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, they removed the ice part, and I'm like, well, yes, but that wasn't as imperative. Like, okay, yeah, Eyes knew Belle was in danger. Okay, kind cool, but like, was it necessary to the scene? I think that was one that I think was a right cut, in my opinion. Again, I know people will say like, oh, I'm just being biased and stuff, but no, that's not the case. I'm just being honest. I don't think that scene was necessary compared to, if I had to choose other scenes, in my opinion, right? Like, people are saying like, oh, they cut this and that, and I'm like, do you know how much time they have for an episode, or do you want them to make like 1 hour episodes every week? At that point, they may as well have just done a full 24 episode season. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, I've said before, I think would have been the right decision. If we wanted to make a perfect adaptation, I think 24 episodes would have been a must. But yeah. I mean, the thing is, in the light novel, she did nothing. She did nothing. Because the thing is, she was with Tione and this one in the light novel. She was with Tione. They didn't have their weapons, right? They didn't have their weapons, unfortunately, and they were facing off against Heirin and Hegni, I think it was, right? I don't remember if there was anybody else, but like obviously, like it's two characters with no weapons, one character with a weapon versus two characters with their weapons ready to go to war, basically. Like we weren't gonna amount to anything there. There was nothing gonna happen there. Like I love guys, but like that it's like I love the optimism and stuff from people, and you know, trying to say like, oh, they should include this and that and this and that. Their JC stuff are doing the best they can with what the episodes they've got. They have to make decisions, and harsh decisions, and I'm sorry, but a scene like that isn't as necessary. Do I think that I should have had some other scenes in the past? Absolutely. I've said this before. I do think that I should have had other scenes. And I mean, they did a good job in the start of this episode by including those scenes, you know, with you know, showing that Bell's conviction and the reason why he's, you know, why he rejected Seer in the first place, right? Was because of eyes. They showed that, which I think was brilliant. And that's exactly what we needed to see in the last episode, in my opinion. I think if they'd done it in the last episode, maybe it wouldn't have spent that much time. But anyways, he was going to talk to Ryu as well. That would have led to that conversation anyhow. But again, it's one of those things that I think they did a good job there, in all honesty. No, absolutely, but no, I mean, of course, they're Amazons. They're gonna be good without weapons as well. But like, of course, they'll be better with the weapons. And obviously, you know, going up against other people with weapons, you're going to be naturally at a little bit more of a disadvantage as a result of that. You know what I mean? I do think that, of course, yeah, like you said, I think they will be able to try and take him on, but there's only so much they can do, and not to mention the whole factor of like, you know. Well, you have to also deal with the fact that, well, if they go up against the Freya Familia, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I think they were thinking that as well, if I recall correctly, in the light novel as well. I haven't fully read all the sections yet for the light novel. I just did a quick skim through so far. I will probably read it later tonight, most likely, and then make a video. But yeah. Obviously, in the grand scheme, it wouldn't have mattered technically that much, because at the end of the day, you know, Freya decided to charm the entirety of Aurario, but still, I mean, let's say they did manage to rescue Belle. Well, Freya would have caused a bit of a ruckus then, of course, about the fact that, you know, why is the Loki Familia getting involved and all that sort of jazz. You know what I mean? Fuck me, man. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit more, it's all better than season 2, that's all that matters. I agree with that. At least it's better than season 2. Do I think it's better than season 4 so far? Not really, no. I think season 4 was a little bit better at this point still, to be honest. But again, I think that was to be expected with the episode count, to be honest. It was unsurprising on that front. Haven't read it for the past couple of days. Yeah, I just had a skim through on the first day, because obviously there was a lot of people saying like, oh, they cut a lot of stuff and everything, and I'm like, yes and no. They didn't cut a lot. It's just that a lot of it felt sped up, is what the problem was. I felt a lot of it just went by quickly, and they cut like small scenes from every, like, effectively from every moment they cut a small scene effectively, and that effectively kind of compiled itself. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they cut a big scene or like a small scene or anything, because let's say, for example, in a previous episode where they cut the orphanage scene, for example, right? The rest of the episode still felt fine because of the way the orphanage scene was. Because the orphanage scene, it made sense to cut it because, well, it wasn't ever in the anime, right? The orphanage stuff. So it made sense that, you know, okay, the rest of the episode is still fine because of that, right? By extension. But yeah, it's one of those things. It is indeed one of those things. Alright, there we go. Let's go over there. Need to move this a little bit. 1 second, there we go. Need to get myself a little bit more comfortable with this. No spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything after light novels. No light novel spoilers in this stream. We're talking only anime spoilers. So only latest episode stuff and everything. Yeah, like I said, I think they're literally following this whole episode 1 to 9 is 16 to 17, and then volume 18 is 10 to 15. Literally how I expected it to be. Once the Blu-ray discs revealed it, I kind of was expecting that to be the case. You didn't need to delete that comment, Subaru. That's okay. You didn't spoil anything, so it's okay. I mean, people obviously would question it anyways, or it's not like you've spoiled any details about Volume 18, so you're okay. But I'm just letting you know, I won't answer anything or talk about anything that's light novel related that hasn't been shown in the anime yet. Like, Heath we know is coming in the next episode because all the production teams and stuffs are, you know, sharing Heath, and we know that she's gonna be making her appearance because we saw her, you know, full body sprite as well, or full body art, I should say, as well, for the animation. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Silverback, stop. Alright. But yeah, no, you don't need to worry about that. I was wondering, like, where did the message go? I felt like I saw a message get deleted, so I was assumed that it was that message. I really wanted Otaro to do with what Broly did to Goku. I mean, yeah, it would have been insane. To be honest, I feel like a lot of people probably would. I think that was probably in my opinion, it was well done. Although I would have liked a little bit more pushback again. But again, it makes sense why it's just so one-sided. You know, I can't really blame them for making it one-sided again. Because it just makes sense for it to be one-sided. Best Girl Heath is coming in next episode? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, like, yeah, we know she's coming, so it's kind of like not spoilers in that sense. You know what I mean? Because we know she's going to be there because of the, you know, all the production team putting it on Twitter and stuff like that. Alright, there we go. Yeet. There we go. Come on. Alright, no. Not today, buddy. I don't think he's anybody's boy, to be honest. Nah. I mean, that's the first time I've heard anybody call Veneer their boy, to be honest. But yeah, he'll be also back again, of course, after his appearance in episode 3? 3. But yeah, he's another one that'll make his appearance for sure. All right, let's go over here now. Let's cook up some shenanigans. Of this? Yeah, it's the pink-haired chick. Yeah, the Veneer's the short guy, the half Palom, half human, basically. Nearly. I wanted to really get the boss rush this time around. I don't think I've gotten the boss rush once with the Anya setup. His genetics didn't cook. I mean, yeah, he's not got the best of both worlds. He's short, but he's a human, so nobody likes him. It's tough. It's tough times out here, man. It's tough times. Alright, let's do this. There we go. Come on, give me the boost. Give me the boost. Shield up. No, you don't want to shield up, buddy? Oh, man, I want to break this guy's shield. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll oh, wait. I need to check my Anya's ability board at some point. I really wonder if there's a half... no, I don't think so. I don't think there is. I'd assume there wouldn't be unless Omori really wants to go wild with it. It would be amazing. It would be amazing to see. I think it would be very funny to see though. Oh god. There we go. There we go. Drop this down here. Ah, I meant to go that way. There we go. Let us carry on. Bro's getting cooked by both the Elven side and Dwarven side more so, yeah. Oh my god. Alright, let's go. Are you saying how did Freya make all that light without using Arcanum? Well, it's just her sheer power. That's the whole charm power, basically. Like, people forget, like, how powerful the gods and goddesses are, especially depending on their power. Even without, like, Arcanum. Like, they're still pretty darn strong, you know? But no, it's just that sheer charm power. It's just the sheer charm power, basically, she had. She basically extended her charm all the way out wide, basically. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's her strongest. It's her ability is the strongest there is, so makes sense. Plus, I think it's Omori also just making a little bit of an exaggeration in that sense as well. I think low-key. I think low-key it's also Omori just saying, you know, because even in the in the Ellens, it was the same thing. In the Ellens, actually, it was even bigger. I think the anime actually did it a little bit better in that sense, low-key. Because it makes a little bit more sense that it's just a massive glow. What Omori did in the Ellens was he said that Freya made like a dome, basically, like sort of like an iron, you know, a sort of like shield, effectively. And it's like, well, that's kind of a bit nutty, but okay. But no, it's not. Thankfully, they didn't do that in the anime low-key. I'm kind of preferred the way they showed it in the anime. Well, I assume the OEBD is a little bit immune to that, and the thing is, gods and stuff cannot get involved with the whole monsters thing. You know, it's something that was kind of explained in season 1 in a way, basically, right? With the whole thing of like gods and stuff really can't get involved with the monster side of things and all that sort of jazz. So it doesn't really work. And also, the stronger the monster, the more likelier that they're immune as well to all of these effects. You have to remember the OEBD is much stronger than the average human as well, technically. And Freya focused a lot more so on just some random humans and a bunch of adventurers as well. But they're also weaker adventurers as well. They're not all very strong adventurers either, so yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. Domain expansion, honey rabbit is mine. That's funny. Because yeah, a lot of monsters are immune to abilities like that. That's the thing as well. Like, of course, we've seen Freya be able to charm monsters before. The Silverback. But the Silverback is a much weaker monster compared to the One-Eyed Black Dragon. It's nowhere near similar. I thought I went the right direction. I was hoping I'd really gone the right direction. I probably need to skill cancel a little bit more with Anya, to be honest. Man, that was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I have never beaten that 30-second challenge, to be honest. I mean, the first conversation they'll have will be very fun, to be honest. Honestly, I've seen some of the memes about, the whole Freya and belting. It's been so funny, to be honest. Some of the memes have been really good. Especially with the one where they're brushing their teeth, like how Belle and Hestia did in season 1 is too good. Also, I've been seeing a lot of who's Hestia memes as well. That's too good. Because obviously, if you guys weren't aware, Hestia's VA is Inori Minase, who is the same VA as Rem. So people have just taken the V0 meme and just chucked it into Danmachi as well, which is, I think, very funny, to be honest. I really like it. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I appreciate good meme. I appreciate the good meme. I've been really liking it. I've been really liking some of the memes because it just makes some of it just makes sense, man. Can I do this from this range and still get the buff? Yes, we can. It can be also used on Farina as well. Well, nobody forgot Farina. It would be kind of like if they'd forgotten Ruka Devta. It's if Ruka Devta in Genshin, if that would have been a who's Ruka Devta meme. It could have been. You could have used it there, but Inori Minase didn't voice Nahida, so it doesn't count. I wouldn't say it counts on Farina. That doesn't really work, sadly. But yeah, no, I think it'll be. I've been enjoying the memes. The memes have been good. The memes have been very good. I can't wait to see Freya act like a girl and ring. Yeah, I mean it'll be pretty cool to see what happens in the next episode. I mean, you basically spoiled one of the scenes in the next episode, so cheers, Razor, for that. But it's all right. It's not a major one, so it's okay, I guess. Yeah, the fan service will go crazy in the next episode for sure. All right, let's go. There we go. Beautiful stuff. This has been probably one of my faster abyssal runs. I think after this, what I'll do is I'll do some familiar ranking runs as well. Still have to do that as well. Let me just do this. There we go. How did Freya transform back into Seer if Horn was knocked out? No, so they can transform into Seer whenever they want. Seer and Horn and Freya can both transform into Seer however they want. There's no like restriction there necessarily in terms of like if one has to be awake or anything of that sort. No, there's no restriction like that. No, it's Freya can use that spell on demand. It's not them taking liberties, but yeah. Yeah, technically they could be them at the same time, yes. Yes, that is very possible, yes. It's not like Seer is a thing that has to be only one person can occupy it at any given moment and Horn is controlling it. That's not the case. It's just, yeah. Yeah. They can both be Seer whenever they want. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Just wanted to do that quick run, so let's do that. That's stamina as well, gotten for me. And we also get some more battle pass rank. We will take that absolutely. All right, let's go and do some ranking event. One thing I wanted to do. Let's go back in. is I need to figure out how people been getting the big score, I need to change the scene cards, I think, on mine. Yeah, we need people to start running their runs if possible. So, which will be fine. We still have some time. I think we have what, until, when is the familiar event till? Let me see. When is it up until, let's see. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I hate this communication error bullshit. When does it end? When does it end? When does it end? It ends on the 10th. So we have a couple more days. We have like a whole week basically to do this. So that's all right. Let's go and do some runs. One thing I wanted to do was just switch around this. So, let me just check. Miketsu DM'd me his team. I want to just see what he's running. I just want to see quickly what he was running on this one. So action skill damage and the scene card. Okay. Where is she? Okay, there we go. So he was running action skill damage, which we will run as well. Where is it? There it is. We'll run this. We will switch this out for also. I think we'll run this as well. Because, yeah, with decreased movement speed, increases crit rate. So that's going to help a little bit as well and get the crit damage as well. And then for this one, I think I'm going to just run this. Let's share 100 years of romance. 30% strength, intelligence, dexterity, and vitality. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this pans out. But yeah, I think... I want to try and see if we can get 2 million, because that'll help the team out a little bit more as well. Alright, let's go. Let me start doing this as well. Do this. Drop this. Drop this. Will this break? Thank you. There we go. There we go. Drop this. There we go. Yeah, I don't think that was mentioned in the light novels, no. There we go. There we go, beautiful stuff. What's up, K1? How you doing, mate? Yeah, this is my best. This is already a better run by far. Drop this on their heads. We've got more than enough time. Man, this run is ridiculous, man. It's so funny how this run works, man. It's just ridiculous. Alright, let's drop this actually. There we go. I'm gonna save it for later. Drop this. There we go. Drop this. There we go. Yeah, we're getting already 2 million, which is good. This is a good run. Drop this. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Drop this. There we go. No, anybody can use it. Anybody can use it. It's a magic sword, so anybody can use it. But Welf doesn't like using magic swords. He doesn't like making magic swords, so that's why he doesn't have it. You have to remember that Welf's whole shtick is that he doesn't like using it or like making it unless necessary. Is it just me or I've been very lucky with my run today? Because I think I've already beaten Miketsu's run here. But yeah, you have to remember that Welf doesn't like making it. So he's gonna not make it unless necessary. And of course, in that sort of situation, like... it's such an immediate situation. I don't think he was even expecting it. 2 million better score, by the way, already, which is super nice. That was really good. Let me just check, actually. I'm quite curious to see what Miketsu's score is. 3.6 million. Okay, that's actually pretty close. Also, by the way, this isn't me. I'm just saying, this is not me. I have no idea who's running this familia at this point, to be quite honest. I have no idea if and who is in this familia. Wait, this person I know. He's somebody I've actually, I think, seen in the chat before. Jay Bruys as well, I feel like I've seen. The rest all, who the fuck are these guys? No idea. I have zero idea. So it's kind of annoying in that sense that there's somebody running fucking my... bro, if we were cheating, you think my B familiar would do it before my familiar? It's crazy. I have no idea. I have no idea who they are. It's kind of annoying that they're cheating, and I'm surprised that they haven't kicked them out yet, to be honest. Usually they do it pretty quickly. I'm surprised they haven't yet. Like, what, these 3 familiars easily get knocked out, right? 100%. Or at least their family members should get knocked out as well. Like, come on. That's crazy. It's crazy. To be honest, it would have been really cool to actually have people, you know, or to have this, what's it called? A way to see, like, each player's score, because that would be a little bit more way to this way. Oh, well, you'll have to wait for that. We'll have to wait for that one, Hero. Because, again, you'll have to wait and see what exactly is the ramifications on who gets affected and stuff in the next episode. Because there's going to be everybody else's reveal. That's why this next episode's title is Orario. We're going to see everybody who's, you know, a major involvement. We'll see Ai's next episode. We will see, you know, everybody else. Like I said, Ai's. We'll probably see the rest of the familiars and stuff involved and so on and so forth be shown off. So you'll see. And of course, if they don't show it, I'll mention it in the video. Of course, if they, you know, avoid somebody that they didn't show or they cut somebody from the episode, right? I'll talk about it in a cut contents video. So don't worry about it. If you have Mikoto, you can run this just fine. Yeah, Mikoto's just, it does a good job. Yeah. No worries, Leon. You're good. You're good after this. Do you like the Danmachi dub? Sorry, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. To be honest, I'm more of a sub guy. So yeah. And people still like Freya after doing this. The discussion around Freya is very difficult because yes, she is a villain. Is she evil for what she's doing? Yes, technically that too as well. I'm not gonna say that is wrong because at the end of the day, when we explain what a villain is, right? It's a malicious person who does a crime or is doing something wicked, and that, let's not get it twisted, Freya is doing something evil at the moment. But there's a lot more to Freya nonetheless. You have to remember that every single familiar member, even just from the little we know she's done, she has done a lot of good as well. Now, does a lot of good equal to you being allowed to make a wrong? No, I wouldn't say so. That's necessarily true. But that's the beauty of having such a nuanced character. I think Freya is an amazing character, and that's why I really like her. I think that Omori did a fantastic job with making her such a, you know, interesting character in the sense of there will be people who will think she's extremely bad, but there will be people who will also see the good that she's done so far. But yes. No, I'm not saying it doesn't excuse her actions, but saying she's a complete red flag for, you know, of course, with what she's done to Belle and the rest of Orario, I think that's fair. But I think if you can remove that, there's a lot of good to her as well. And again, it's that whole situation of like how you perceive her. And I think that's a very cool thing about this character. She's not a villain. Technically, she is. She's not pure evil. But is she doing something bad? Is she doing something villainous, which is evil, crime related? Not evil, but crime related, something that is affecting people maliciously? Yes, she is a villain. Let's not get it twisted. When I say she's a villain, she's an antagonist villain, kind of, basically. you can't say she's not a villain. I disagree with that point complete in a way, to be quite honest, because you have to understand what the definition of a villain is. It's you can try and defend it in any way you want. She's a villain. Let's be real. She is a villain, at least in the context of this season. She is a villain. You want to see the good in her? I think that's absolutely fine. I think there's a lot of good in Freya as well. But for the context of this season, she's a villain. Can she be redeemable? Absolutely. There are ways for her to be redeemable. Of course, we'll have to approach the end of the season to obviously talk about that in the future, right? We'll have to see if she gets redeemed, how she gets redeemed, whether or not we will perceive her as redeemed, of course, right? That's a different discussion for another day, couple of months down the line. When the final episode airs, we can then talk about it then. But in the context for this season and for what she's done and what she is doing, she is being malicious. She's effectively taking away people's lives, right? At the end of the day. But yeah. Hot chicks can do whatever they want. Say got the point. Say's got the point right there. But yeah. I mean, again, that's how you perceive it. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to mention anything because it's not fair for people who have not watched who've not read the light novels, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. We'll see how it all pans out. There we go. Let me just do this. I mean, I think I saw your message in the morning. I couldn't read it because I was at work. You messaged it when I was literally waking up for work and I was busy at work. I see what you're saying, but again, it doesn't alleviate the fact that she is still evil for this part, or like not evil per se, but like malicious at least. If we want to kind of soften the blow a little bit, she's malicious. At the very minimum, she is doing a malicious act. And that makes her a villain. Sadly. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Yes, has she done good? Is there a good side to her? Absolutely. We've seen it from the Seer side. She had plenty of opportunities to go after Belle if she really wanted to, as Seer as well. But she wanted to play it by ear. We know this, right, from the previous couple of episodes. But it doesn't change that fact either, unfortunately. You know what I mean? That currently what she's doing in this Freya state of being rejected and, in a way where she's kind of annoyed and frustrated of not being able to get her order and all that sort of stuff. She is a villain. She is a villain in this situation. As a Freya fan, I mean, I'm not going to deny it. I like her character a lot, but it doesn't change the fact that I think she's currently in a villainous state. No, I mean, yeah, absolutely. But people will probably call her a villain anyways, because for the context of the season. What if Freya saved Belle? Then none of this situation would have happened at all. I mean, that's exactly what Freya said. I mean, hey, listen, that's what's happening. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Say, Freya did save Belle. Did you not? Come on now. Come on now, brother. Freya did save Belle. Clearly, that's the reason why Belle's in the Freya familiar. Clearly, come on now. Exactly. Razor right, man. Come on now, guys. Get it together. We cannot let this evil rabbit figure, this cursed rabbit, this rabbit that's lost his memories, think otherwise. No. This cursed rabbit does not know what he's talking about. Good evening, Sammy. How are you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Uh-oh. Ah, fuck. I mean, I'm kind of happy with the 3 million score, but yeah. If Ryu had said she was uncomfortable with Seer going after Belle in episode 1, would this situation happen at all? I think inevitably, yes, it would have happened. But the thing is, Ryu as a character is, yeah, that way. Who is Hestia? Never heard of her. Exactly. It's basically like Rem. I don't know who this freaking Hestia character is. People be tripping, man. People be tripping. People don't know what they're saying anymore, man. People don't know what they're talking about. People don't know what they're talking about. But yeah. To those of you guys tuning in, welcome to the stream. Hopefully all are doing well. Remember that this is a spoiler stream for what happens in episode 5. So just be wary before you come into the stream that you are entering spoilers territory. But yeah, just making sure that people are aware of what they're getting into before they continue watching the stream. So that was close. Yeah, that's the other thing. Ryu's got a lot of things for this as well. The show has been going on for so long, but the plot has only moved. Brother, it's been 19 light novels. It's only been 6 months. It's one of the big complaints everybody has, to be honest. Everybody has been saying for a very long time that Amori needs to go a lot faster, but Amori wants to make it in a... well, originally, at least that was his plan. We don't know if it's still the plan, but Amori has been wanting to stick with this whole shtick of having it like 1 year, basically, a 1 year plan, which... it's dumb. I personally don't think it's a smart decision, but we'll see what comes of it, of course. If it actually happens, he sticks with the 1 year plan or something. I think 2 years, 3 years would have been much better. I think 3 years would have been fine. Or get at least Bell to being 18. I think would have been perfectly fine. So 4 years, I think would have been perfect. Alright, do this. Do this, there we go. I should have done the ult here. Will it go for him? I missed. How did I miss my ult? How did I miss my ult? Frick. Technically, Argonaut did it under a week. If you mean the whole story of Argonaut, I don't think that is... it's not comparable. I don't think it's two comparable situations. General Minos was nowhere near the strength of the One-Eyed Black Dragon, nor is also the whole character development side and all that sort of stuff, I feel. Especially for all the side characters, I feel. Look, Amori's done a fantastic job with the side characters, at least in terms of the light novels, of course, right? Anime, it's been hit or miss, is the best way to put it. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel like... considering the grand context, I feel like there's a lot more involved in the main series versus Argonaut. It's two incomparable situations. You can't compare the two, in my opinion. It's not right. Wait, so there are no time skips at all? Well, you have to remember that the light novels are actually very close to the anime, or the anime is very close to the light novel. We don't know if there's going to be a time skip in the future, to be quite honest. We'll have to wait and see with what Amori does. I can't obviously spoil what happens in volume 19 and 20, but realistically, as of this season, there's been no time skips. Literally, it's been continuously, like moment one to like 6 months in, it's been just event after event after event after event after event after event. Like, it's barely been anything. Let me just skip this. Have I chosen the right team? No. Not the right team. It's this one. There we go. I was gonna say, don't make me waste my bonuses, dog. Don't make me waste my bonuses. Alright, let's see. I didn't mean to draw one time. No point. Imagine if I got like one of the big things here. Let's see. What do I get here? Memory crystal? Wow, I got both. Damn. Damn. I mean, I can literally just go ahead now, but I'm probably not going to. I want to get the rest of the stuff. And then, of course, we've got round 6, which is just rinse and repeat, getting all of these things, basically, which it's I8, I guess. It's I8. It is love. It is love. It's not the love that you personally think is good love, which is absolutely fine, but it is love. Believe they added more scene cards for bonuses. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I mean, I've already wasted it, but it's fine. But thank you for letting me know. That's actually good to note. I'm gonna check that out in a second as well then. Once I limit break this. Probably immune, I would say. I mean, you may perceive that, but hey, listen, love is blind, is the best way to put it. But I was gonna say immune as well. Ishtar will probably be immune. You can't charm. You probably won't be able to charm her. But love is blind. That's just how it is. This is such a common thing in the world. That's how it is. It doesn't make it better, no, but it is love at the end of the day. Love makes you blind. It's how it is. Love makes you do irrational things as well. We've said that it's a well-known saying. It's always been a thing. No, the like what we're gonna finish off, Joshel, by the end of the season, right? By the end of the season, we're only going to be 2 light novels behind technically, because the second volume 20 is releasing in December. We're going to be only 2 volumes behind, literally, and it's 1 arc so far. So yeah. Doesn't that mean Hathor was also immune and was just vibing as Freya did their thing? I think Hathor probably wasn't immune, I would say. I think Hathor was probably not immune. Ishtar was probably immune because of the way Ishtar is, more so the way her abilities are and everything. I think Hathor isn't, unfortunately, as immune. Hathor is the Egyptian goddess, the one with the mask we saw at the goddess of fertility event. I would have assumed as well that she wasn't immune, but I think she probably didn't have the abilities like Ishtar did. I don't think so. It's not impossible that, yeah, Freya probably threatened her, but yeah. I don't think they... yeah, I don't think they ever mentioned it. So it's not really a spoiler, because I don't think they ever talked about it. I can't remember it, actually. Yeah, I can't remember it. I can't remember it. Well, no, Hathor is also the goddess of love and beauty in Egypt. She's the Egyptians' iteration of that. So it's not goddesses of fertility necessarily. Specifically, they're also goddesses of other things as well. They are reign over other domains as well, or they could reign over other domains as well. I should specifically say. English is a hard language. Let me check the bonuses. 1 second. I want to check the bonuses here. Let me see. Bonus. There we go. That works. That does work. Golden time does. Ooh, okay, 1 second. So hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Let's see. What was I gonna do? I completely forgot. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. Honestly, what makes Freya's dog? I literally just said I think literally literally love is irrational. Love is blind. We've said this before. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's how it is. No, Freya lost her title as war. You could say she lost it, but she's still associated with it for the most part. A lot of people will associate with her with love, beauty, fertility, war, stuff like that. There's a couple of other ones as well. I can't remember all of it, but she also does get associated with that. She may have lost it, but she gets associated with it. This one. Yeah, Freya is Norse mythology. Yes, Freya is Norse. Somebody's still bursting firecrackers. Fun times. I was wondering, like, I could hear some pops happening in the background. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, I got golden time. Yes, I did get golden time finally. Thank God for that. Loki as well as Norse mythology. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So wait, I can use golden time now, right? So let me just filter by event bonus 1 second. I'm surprised it's still going on because Diwali is over already. I assume maybe it's because of Guy Fawkes Night coming soon. I think that's probably why, and so people are just bursting fireworks throughout the upcoming like weekend as well, because obviously Guy Fawkes Night is 5th of this as well. I hope they can keep up doing the anime. I rarely hear people talking about it, but it's not really unknown. Same for animes like Index, for instance, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's one of those that's like semi-well known, I would say. It's not like the most well-known thing or the least known thing. It's just somewhere in the middle, I would say. So I think they'll keep going with the anime. They have another project they've announced. They said that they are doing something special for the 10th anniversary of the anime. Fuck knows what it is, but they have so many other things that they could do. They could do Sword of Rotoria, which is like the side story that focuses on the Loki familia and I happens alongside the main series, basically. Not exactly alongside, but simultaneously. Like the events are happening while the main series is happening effectively. So they could do Sword of Rotoria. It would be nice. I mean, I know the first season was bad, but they could literally do a remake or start afresh with season 2. It would be amazing. They could do Argonaut or a Stray Record or something like that from Danmachi, which is of course canonical anniversary stories that are amazing and give a lot more lore because it's all history related stuff to the Danmachi series. It's like past events effectively, like way before the Age of Gods. It would be cool. So there's so much they could do. It's just a question of will they more so than can they. Um, but yeah, it would be nice. I'm begging, just follow the manga and forget the LN. I mean, I'd agree with that. I think it would be nicer if they followed the manga as well, in my opinion, for this for Sword of Rotoria, because it's a much better. I've always said this: adapting a manga is so much easier than adapting a light novel. They have literally all the tools they need if they wanted to do that. Honestly, 100%, 110%. They literally have everything. I mean, I still have to read the Sword Art Online version of the manga. I've obviously done light novel and done Mimo. So I think the next thing I'm gonna do sooner rather than later is start up the manga. I know I've been saying it for a long time, but I will soon. I will. I promise. I promise. Ellen helps describe more stuff more though, but at the same time, I feel like the anime doesn't do the light novel justice. Yes, the light novel is fantastic. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. I think having the light novel is great, and it's obviously fantastic. But if I'm adapting some form of material as an animator, I would 100% say that a manga would be much better because the panelings are all there. Every event that happens, the way it's presented to us is all there in a visual format and an imagery format. So it makes it so much easier to put it into animation compared to, okay, you have a wall of text here, you have to identify, of course, first and foremost, like the expressions that characters should have and so on and so forth. I mean, obviously, ideally they use both to kind of work together extremely well, but I think if you're going for one of the two, the manga is way better in my opinion, just because you're going to be able to do a much easier job in terms of course, presenting it, and of course having everything ready to go in terms of storyboarding and everything. So yeah. Well, it was so much better in the light novels as well. The anime just didn't do as good of a job. I think the anime did a good job. It wasn't as good as it could have been, though. It could have been amazing. It should have been amazing. But yeah, I still think the anime didn't do a bad job. But like, it's just like it did an okay job, which is kind of like, well, you could have done a better job there. You know, as somebody who was a big fan of the Astreas versus Bell sequence and stuff, and loved it so much, it's just like it would have been nice. It would have been nice. All right. Yeah, the Sword Art Oratoria anime was pretty meh. I would say if you don't mind reading a more visual novel style, Danmimo, go for it. Yes, Danmimo was Ellen. Like literally word for word, it was Ellen. The only differences were two things basically that happened towards the end of the end of it, SO12 and stuff, but it doesn't change much. It changes like about 5% in my opinion of the story, but like it's very minor in the grand scheme of things. So yeah. All right, good night, Maxwell. Take it easy, mate. I just don't see a need for the Xenosis. I disagree because it gives you another perspective, in my opinion, especially of like the monsters within the dungeon. Obviously, it's not all monsters, so it doesn't help. I see where you're coming from. I'm not denying what you're saying. I think that is a fair point you make there. But I think it adds an extra dynamic, in my opinion, to the story, to be honest. And I think it gives Belle another incentive rather than just being super focused on only eyes. Because I think at the end of the day, people, and I think that's why Amori introduced the Xenosis in a way, in my opinion, because I think people were thinking it was just so one-sided of Belle being like a this sort of character where it was just eyes only, which I think is fair, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, for me, Danmachi, while yes, it's sort of a romance story as well technically, but I would prioritize it as an action fantasy story of an underdog who becomes an insane hero basically, right? And you have to add more dynamics to that, and I think the Xenosis adds a very good dynamic to Belle for that, in my opinion. But I think that's the point. I think that was the whole point of that whole situation. Yes, people hated him, but I think, you know, with what happens in Sword Art Oratoria, I'm not going to spoil anything, and, you know, obviously the subsequent actions as well, it actually ended up benefiting him majorly as well. It's unfortunate. I mean, I would say there are major culprits of this as well. Like, I'm not gonna deny there's so many light novel adaptations that just haven't done extremely well. The only one that I would say that's done extremely well so far, and I've never heard that many complaints about, and albeit I don't know anybody who reads the light novels for it as well, sadly, is Reincarnated as a Slime. I think I've not heard any complaints about that, to be honest, and I think it's such a nice thing for them, and I'm very glad that they have such a good anime. You know that meme of that person with the smiley mask and then crying internally? That's literally the way I sound right now. But no, on a serious note, I'm super glad that they do it. I enjoy the anime a lot as well. I've heard complaints about ReZero. I've heard complaints about Overlord. I've heard complaints about Index, of course. I've heard Railgun. I've heard was actually good. Railgun has not been bad. But unfortunately, we've not had anything about with the magical series, a certain magical series in years now. What, Railgun was 2020, I think, last time. Railgun T was 2020, right? I think that was the last one I think we had, or Accelerator might have been the last one. I can't remember. Since then, they've done nothing with the series, which is crazy to me, considering how major it is and how big it is, like how much there is of, you know, in terms of content. It's crazy. It's unbelievable, in my opinion, that we haven't had anything for that. I think what America is trying to get is trying to do is get everyone in the current generation get much higher feeds than the Age of Heroes. Yeah, I agree with that. At what point do you just become immune to germ? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Razor and this said, can't you avoid getting charmed? I remember Omorian mentioned both Althea and Zord would be immune if Freya try to charm them. I don't remember what if Omori said that. I can't remember that, to be honest. He must have said that in some random tweet from like 50 years ago, because there's so many tweets he does. He tweets too much, man. This guy. But I don't think so necessarily. It would have to be a lot of pain. You'd have to do a lot of stuff, a lot to get to that point, I think. But yeah, it's 2021. Thank you. But yeah, it's just like, it's insane to me that we have not gotten anything for certain series. It's like, it's you with how popular certain light novels are and stuff. It's crazy that they don't do a good job with them, you know, in terms of this. It's very unfortunate. It is very, very unfortunate. Like, I've been wanting more for Index for a very long time, and to be honest, I don't want to bite the bullet and have to read the light novels, because it's just so much, man. There's just so much. But yeah, it would be nice if they could do some stuff there. Let me go over the list of best-selling. Apothecary Diaries is doing really well, which I'm super glad about. I'm so glad that the anime is done well there, so that's good. Apothecary Diaries is good. Sword Art Online, I mean, yeah, it's there. Haru Suzumiya hasn't gotten anything in years, I feel like. Irregular Magic High is very to be honest. Danmachi is doing well, of course. ReZero is doing alright as well, I would say. Like, they're doing good. Overlord, meh. Rising of Shield Hero, the worst fall off I've seen in my life, man. Holy shit, what a fall off. Mushoku Tensei is doing good as well. Mushoku Tensei is doing well as well. MT, yeah. I was gonna say Mushoku Tensei's anime is doing well, so that's good. I had many complaints about the last season of Slime being adapted, not as good, but as it should have been. But it was kind of was built up. Oh, I did not know that, actually. Huh. Damn. Okay. I did not know that. I did not know that was a complaint, to be honest. I hadn't seen at least on my side, I didn't see many complaints, so I'm kind of surprised about that. But yeah, it's just yeah, like I said, it's just light novels, man. It's just light novels. It's just hard. That's why I've always said, like, it's just difficult, man. Like, when people say Wistoria is doing better than Danmachi, I'm like, yeah, it's a manga, man. It's just everything is there for them. It's there. It's all there. The imagery is there. The storyboarding is there. They don't have to do as much effort as, you know, these guys have to do with light novels, where they have to pick and choose what they have to do. This is the thing. This is this. This is that. This is that. Or make sure everything is in the perfect order and stuff. You know what I mean? MT is one of those where it's definitely a very subjective series, for sure. It's one of the more subjective and more what's it called, divisive series, in all honesty. It felt like filler, and many people said they cut out the good parts and made it into a Yap story. That's kind of unfortunate, because I enjoyed the last season a little bit. I wouldn't say it was like the best season on the planet, but it wasn't a bad season by any means, for sure. I'd say, of course, I prefer the previous seasons of Slime, but yeah, it's yeah. One second. Hold on a second. Yeah. I mean, we've still got Slime Season 4 coming at some point as well, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see when that drops. I can't get most anime series since YouTubers changes. Given they take down anime I want to watch before I can watch it. Well, yeah, if you're trying to watch it via YouTube, it's not gonna work because they're gonna take it down. You're gonna have to just do this instead. You'll have to just watch via different other websites, other outside choices, other options. All right, let's go and start some raids in the meantime as well while we're here. Oh, you've already started up raids. Okay, I mean, I'll join one raid, I suppose, from your side, then I'll make mine. Mr. Main selling point was Hyper and Black Clover 2.0, and I think Danmachi. Yeah, it probably is one of those things. Did I click the wrong button? I think I clicked the wrong button. I thought I clicked search again. I clicked auto join. I'll do 3 raids. I'm gonna do 3 raids only. It's fine. Makes my life a little bit quicker. Let's see if I get in or not. Okay, I got into Megatronus's raid. Transformers 1? Question mark? I'll leave and join your raid 1 second. I know it's not you. I know. Fucking joined Megatron's the big foreheads thingy. Fucking joined him instead. Click on auto matchmaking if you want as well, Leon. It'll be easier that way. But yeah, I think it's kind of unfortunate because I think Rollout, to be honest, I really like the movie. I finally got around to watching it the other day. I really liked it, man. Transformers 1 was good. I kind of am disappointed that it didn't do as well in this market in the box office, but it is what it is. Can you guys hear that? The clicking sound? Because I want to know how loud it is. Yeah, the new one, Transformers 1. I liked it a lot. You can hear it. Okay, good. Well, I don't know how good it'll be for you guys when we do actually play it, but yeah. I like the wheel, man. The wheel is good. The wheel is really good so far. It's been I used it a little bit just before stream started. Not right before stream started, but a while back. Just to see how it was, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I just need to change the rotation a little bit for F1 because bloody hell, it makes me try and do a full U-turn kind of thing basically when I'm trying to do a hairpin, which doesn't help. But yeah. One other question I have is when Bell finally catches up with I think it's gonna change. See, the thing is, right, do you want to get spoiled a little bit on Sword of Rotoria or not? And Ice's background and story. Because I think it's going to be a big, it's a bit of a spoiler as to what I think will happen. It's a theory I have. I don't know how likely it is, but yeah. But it also gets, well, I'm not talking about you, Leon. I'm talking to Josh L. I don't think you'd care necessarily. Yeah, but the thing is, Ice is still the main fragment, I would say, and main factor. So, depends on how that perception changes. So, again, I do think it's going to change, but I need to explain how, and I don't want to spoil people if necessary regarding Sword of Rotoria, because I know some people will want to go and read it or watch the Danmimo version or wait in hopes for an anime. Which, yeah. There we go, come on. Come on, there we go. So I don't mind the spoiler. So basically the whole perception of Eyes is that she's always wanted like a hero basically in her life. Kind of like her father basically, like Albert effectively. I do think that when Belle does catch up and learns more about Eyes' backstory, that's one thing that they kind of cut unfortunately from the anime, and this is again one of those things that I think should be in the anime maybe at a later point, potentially. I think at a later point it'll be in the anime maybe, but I'm not sure. But Belle does learn a little bit more about Albert down the line. I do think that inevitably they will do something where Belle will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be your hero," kind of thing, and kind of cliche-esque it'll be, and it'll effectively change Liaris Freeze to be more for like a, like, oh, instead of catching up, be a hero kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it'll transform that ability effectively into having a different motto and a different dedication, sort of, you know what I mean? Because the whole thing about Liaris Freeze is that whole dedication to something. But yeah, well, we didn't get that scene. I'm not that I didn't want to mention it because it could still happen in the anime, Razor, but yes, that is the scene I'm talking about. It's a scene that we still haven't had in the anime. We don't know if it'll be in the anime. Might be at the end of the anime, who knows. But it's fine. Yes, there is a scene that's might happen. We don't know yet. But yeah, it's one of those things that we think will. I think it'll change Belle's skill. The thing is, Amori likes doing very out of the box things. We necessarily haven't seen abilities change that drastically necessarily, but yeah, it was in volume 15. It was in volume 15, the scene that we're talking about. I think Belle always has it. I had it, to be honest. Well, the only reason why, okay, so in the what if with Ryu, we did see Belle's soul becoming colored a little bit. The reason why is because he broke a promise, and that was because of Liaris Freeze. He broke that promise, but he's always had it before Liaris Freeze as well. The only reason why it became colored after Liaris Freeze broke is because he broke that promise. So him losing Liaris Freeze will have that transparent soul broken. But because of, but before that, it wasn't the case. He had the transparent soul always otherwise. It's just that with Liaris Freeze now, because of that dedication and how pure he is, if he does break it, it will most likely go on that front. And it could be a dedication. It could be his he breaks his dedication to eyes. It could be that he breaks his dedication to saving the Xenoses. It could be his breaking his motto and dedication to beating Astreus as well. These are the three factors that was explained in the what if, and we assume this. Well, we don't know if it'll deactivate, and we don't know necessarily if that'll affect it being necessarily the case because he's achieved it. There's a difference between breaking the thing and achieving the thing. If he achieves the thing of catching up to eyes, it necessarily wouldn't affect his soul because he didn't break the promise. It's just that he achieved the promise, right? If you get what I mean, right? At the end of the day, he's achieved it. There's very big difference between the two 2 points. If you break a promise and you break that dedication and purity, that does color the soul a little bit, right? But then if you achieve it, it shouldn't affect the soul at all because you've achieved it. You've done a good thing. You have not broken your promise. You've not broken or torn away from the soul that or the promise that you've made or something. You know what I mean? Exactly, basically, in that sense. I mean, Ice has been interested in him because of how strong he was getting first and foremost, and then she started getting more interested in him and just how he was behaving with her and everything of that sort. So it was just an evolving thing. But the reason why Eyes was so interested in Belle first and foremost was because of how strong he was getting. He was getting way too strong, and she was like, where's my boost in that sense, bro?" The thing is, I know he got saved by eyes and stuff, but do you think he could have gotten that OP ability if he wasn't in the dungeon at exactly the point? And well, no, he probably would have been an average person. I mean, Omori has said it before that Omori even said it before that fuck me, English is a hard language. Omori has said it before that while like in a gacha sense, if we're talking about gacha games, right? Eyes and Ryu are like SSR characters. Bell's like a uncommon character, effectively, or a rare character at most. He's got some talent, but he's not got the same level of talent and ability and just sheer level of growth that Eyes and Ryu have potentially. He's a very good learner. Exactly. He's a very good learner. And if he was given the opportunity to learn from people, he'd probably also be up there potentially in the at least in the mid-level ranks. Maybe like a Raul, if anything. He'd probably be very much like a Raul, I would have probably assumed. I think is the best way to put it. He'd be very much like Raul, whom you may not know very well, but he's basically like one of the Loki familiar members who's pretty good, but not like out of this world, extraordinary kind of character. He's solid at best. But yeah, I think it would have been something like him, basically. It would have been very much like Raul, effectively. I think Bell would have probably been Raul, effectively, if he wasn't affected by Liara's freeze and stuff. Heard you washed out Quali. Yeah, I went over there and made it rain a lot. What's up, Lanza? No, Quali is in the morning. It's at like 10:30 a.m. for me, basically. But yeah. So like father, like son. Wait, who's the father? We don't know who the father is at all. The father's just some random dude we don't know yet. We don't know who the father is. Who's the father? Wait, this is new. Do you think he'll pass level 5? Well, he has to get level 5 first, but I think by the end of the series he'll be the highest level character, 100%. 100% he'd be the best character at the end. Yeah, I know, but I was gonna say, like, what is that? Oh, as in, like, if he wasn't fully, okay, yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I think he would have been more like in between of, I think he would have been more in between of like that and Alfia. He would have still been a integral character, and he would have been like a sort of like a squad captain for sure. But I don't think he would have been like a familiar captain potentially, unless he really showcases leader skills down the line. After years and years of training and stuff. But I think he would have been more like a squad captain at most. He wouldn't have been just a supporter, but he would have definitely been up there as a squad captain. Again, like I said, just very much a Raul character. And Raul is basically like Raul is basically Finn's understudy, effectively, in Danmachi. He's being groomed to be Finn's replacement, basically. And I think he's the leading member of the second string group, basically. So like you have the main group and then you have the second string where Raul is the lead of that. So I think Bell would be basically like that, effectively. It's serious to be a level 4 as Bell's dad was the weakest member and they didn't have any people under level 4. That actually would make sense, honestly. Then that would actually make sense. How do you think Bell would do if the Zeus and Hera? I mean, Bell was going to join either one if, considering his parents were literally from both familiars, Zeus familiar and Hera familiar. He would have had the choice. I mean, I think depending on Hera's affection to a younger Bell, I think Hera would have probably fought for Bell potentially, just knowing how Bell is. But unless Bell was very much, or she would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you from fucking Zeus's bullshit." To be honest, I think he would have probably joined Hera familiar, most likely. I think because of Materia, Alfia, and all, I think it would have been probably this. I think it would have been. I think we would have ended up seeing Bell joining Hera familiar. Yeah, but I think it would have been one of those things where no, Zeus definitely saw the potential in him and all, no, for sure. But I think Hera would have been one of those weird situations where Hera would have been like, I'm gonna protect you from, you know, the evils of men, and I'm gonna show you how to treat women properly and all that sort of jazz. It would have been a very funny dynamic in that sense, but I think he would have ended up in harem as a result of it. I think it's basically one big family anyways. Like you said, yeah, it's one big family anyways. But I think it would have just been like he would have been under Hera's supervision more. So I feel. Basically, Joshua, exactly. That is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. I think that's how Omori even described it as. Basically, he just got the most broken ability frame one. Basically, he rolled it insanely easily. So no, it's basically that. That is basically what it is. Exactly. That's the other thing I feel. So it's one of those things where I feel like it's. I think Hera would have inevitably been, you know, using would have picked up Bell in my opinion. I think Hera would have been the way to go in my opinion. All right, let's wait and see if one more person joins in. We'll probably just pick up one more randomer if need be, or we'll run with three people. Sorry, I'm just quickly doing Pokemon TCG Pocket stuff really quickly, opening up my daily pack for the day, seeing if there's a bent pack. Hopefully there is, please. Please be a bent pack somewhere. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing, continuing on with the Sunday streams. We'll be doing Radical Red tomorrow night again. So feel free to hop by as well if you guys are interested. That'll be tomorrow's live stream. Um, look, at the end of the day, I think Belle and Eyes is the one to go for. As much as, I mean, I'm a huge Freya fan. I prefer other female characters in Danmachi. Like, Eyes is still in my top 10, I would say. But I prefer Freya, Ryu, Haruhime, some of these other characters, in all honesty, over Eyes. But I think for Belle, it's Eyes. 100%. No doubt. In terms of ships, I'd say Belle and Eyes. 100%. Like, I don't think anybody denies that outside of Ryu fans, to be quite honest. Even Freya fans would probably say Belle and Eyes more so. At least the Freya fans I know personally would say that. But, like, yeah, it's just, I would probably go with this one. Beedrill, useless. I don't need that. And I was hoping I'd get an Articuno. I've been wanting to get the another Articuno if possible. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got distracted by opening up packs. But no, I would say Aizen Freya is the one I would go for. Aizen Freya, now that's a ship and a half. I mean Aizen Bell. I was thinking about Freya because I was just reading some of the comments, some of the chat. I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what did I just say? I would say if it wasn't Bell and Eyes, I'd probably go for Bell and Haruhime, or Bell and Ryu. To be quite honest, I'd stick with those. Hera had the strongest member. Empress was a level 9, yes. Zeus had the level 8 in Maxime. So yeah. I'd probably lean a bit more towards Bell and Astrea's peak. Bell and Ryu or Bell and Eyes is my final offer. Take it or leave it. I mean, I agree with that. I think Bell and Eyes first and foremost, and then Bell and Ryu or Bell and Haruhime. I would agree with that. Those would be my alternative options. I don't think any of the other relationships make that much sense, to be honest. I don't necessarily remember that, and I mean, we can't really say it because we don't know Empress and Maxime's skills or anything. I mean, based on what Zord and Althea can do, technically, I think they were definitely some of the strongest, if not the strongest characters in those familiars. But it just depends on what their skills are and everything. I kid you not, that is true love. I think there's a lot of true love right there, buddy, but I don't know about that, man. Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think Bell and Freya works, so I'm not gonna even say that. It's the same reason why I don't say Bell and Hestia either. I don't think any of those work necessarily. Alrighty, let's go and do some quick shenanigans in Ballerina as well. I'm dying internally, guys. I'm dying. I'm dying out here. Let me just see if there's any good cards for me to pick up in Wonder Pick really quickly. Meowth. Nah, I'm good. I've got almost all the cards in TCG Pocket so far. I'm only missing a bunch of the full arts and like 3 from the main set. Like I'm missing Charizard, base Articuno, and Electros. Out of everything, Electros, dog. How am I missing that? But yeah, I've got a lot of the full arts. I managed to get the Mew finally. Which is basically if you can complete the Cantonian Pokedex effectively in TCG Pocket, you get this, which is super nice. Managed to get that, which is really cool. Obviously, hey, listen, that means I've completed the game, baby. Nah, I'm just joking. There's obviously still more to come and everything. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do in the future with more sets and stuff. But no, man, some of the cards are really sick. Like the Starmie EX card is so beautiful. The full art cards, they're so good, man. They've cooked with the designs in this, man. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they can do in the future. Sorry, getting distracted in that sense. Not gonna lie, I think Ryu is man, Harima and Lily aren't even in the competition. Hestia should stop going for her own family, and I agree with Freya and what she's doing right now, but Eyes is good too. Who would you choose? Who would you choose in terms of the ship, is my question. I'm very curious, because you basically removed all the likeliest options in that one paragraph. So I want to know who would you pick? Because who else is left? Daphne, Cassandra? Cassandra most likely. I guess Cassandra is actually a very underrated option, I would say. Not one I would necessarily go for 100% of the time, but Cassandra would work as well. I think Cassandra is actually not a bad option either, to be honest. Tiona also works extremely well as well, technically as well. I wouldn't mind that either. I think they're very good, like, top 10 options if I had to go with, in all honesty. I wouldn't say top 5, but top 10 for sure. With Bell, that is. So, Tiona, you've got Cassandra. You have, who else? Laurier as well, but that's light novel, so again, unless we see her in the anime, she doesn't exist, unfortunately, for everybody. But Laurier is also a good option as well, I guess, as an out there one. Aina actually also would work actually very, very well. Aina is there. Aina is there as well. Can't forget about Aina. So Aina would be probably the next best option immediately after the top 5, actually. I would say after like Eyes, Harihime, Ryu, and all that sort of jazz, I'd probably go with Aina next. Hell, well, no shot. Not if you know. But yeah. Panda cooked. Panda cooked and Panda did not cook. That's the problem. He cooked and the forest burned down. That he cooked that bad. Nah, it wasn't that bad, but it's not one I would say is anywhere close to being anywhere near the top. I would say no shot. Oh yeah, well, let me just check the scores for the Premier League. 1 second. How did the games go? I know our match is tomorrow with Chelsea, but let's see. That's half 4 as well. Okay. Crystal Palace 2-2. Okay, Nottingham Forest battered West Ham. Damn. Liverpool won Brighton. Newcastle beat Arsenal. That's crazy. Bournemouth beat City. Wait, who's leading then? Liverpool? Fucking hell. That's crazy. Nottingham Forest being third is crazy to me, man. That's unbelievable. Horn is actually number 1. Okay, buddy. Aight. Aisha is the real winner. Aisha the GOAT. The thing is, if Bell ends up with Haruhime, he's getting Aisha as a +1 anyways. Oh, Riveria would be a very underrated option, man. And technically, it could have been Riveria. The funny thing is, it actually could have low-key been Riveria, technically. If Riveria was there first before Eyes, technically would have worked. It could have been Riveria. That's the funny thing. It was very close to actually being Riveria as the Liaris Freeze target. 2 for 1 is crazy action. I mean, am I wrong on that? Am I wrong? It could have been Betu. Yeah, but yeah. This I don't. To be honest, I think Bet's immediate reaction would have not been anything that would have actually triggered Liara's freeze. So I don't know if it would have worked. To be honest, I think the Riveria fanfics are some of the more common ones. Surprisingly, I feel like Riveria with Belle is so common in the fanfic side of things. I feel. Well, but that would have, yeah, like you said, that would have been an interesting story. That's it. No easy opponents here. I'm gonna wait patiently. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna be patient. But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. Okay, that's an easy team to face. Well, Mikoto's been buffed, so not completely easy, but like definitely easier for sure. All right. I think we'll do one more. We'll do this battle and then we'll wrap up the stream for tonight because it is pretty late and I don't want to be too loud for my neighbors as well, even though it's the weekend. But yeah, who's the worst character in your opinion based on writing? Ooh, who's the Mori done the most dirty? Trying to think. I'm trying to think. He's actually cooked with a lot of characters. That's one thing I'll give Omori credit for in terms of his writing with side characters and all. He's done really well. I probably say I'd go with either Apollo or Ares. One of the two, yeah. I'd lean towards Ares a little bit more, in all honesty. I feel like he could have done Ares a little better. I think the thing with Apollo is that the way he was set up as a villain and an antagonist, it made sense the way he was. But I think Ares, the way he was and the way he's set up, I think he could have been done a lot better in terms of the way he was presented. I feel like in terms of long haul, they could have made Ares a little bit better in writing so that in the future, especially when we get around to the final scenes and stuff, I think he could have come in clutch somehow, you know? I think Ares would have been better. I think Ares could have been done better, in my opinion. So I'd go for Ares, yeah. No, Ryan is not canon. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream there, guys. We'll be back tomorrow for Radical Red, Pokemon Radical Red, as the Sunday streams are back. The Sunday shenanigans streams. We do random games that day, so of course, feel free to come by. You can chat about anything and everything. It doesn't have to be Danmachi related. We can talk other anime. We could talk about other games, racing games, whatever, sports. You name it, you want to talk about it, we'll do it tomorrow evening. So be sure to come by then. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Appreciate all of you all for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like, all that sort of good stuff. Take it easy, everybody. Have yourselves a good night. Bye-bye.